Welcome back. In this teaching video, I'll be going through 3.1 improper integrals. 3.1 represents chapter 3, section 1 of the Core Pure 2 textbook. Let's have a look at the key facts of this section. The integral from a to b of f of x dx is improper if either, number 1, one or both of the limits is infinite, or number 2, f of x is undefined at x equal a, x equal b, or another point in the interval a to b. If an improper integral exists, then it is said to be convergent. This means that it will take on a finite value. If the improper integral does not exist, it is said to be divergent, which means that it will not take on a finite value. Consider the integral from negative infinity to infinity of f of x dx. This can be split as a sum of two separate integrals. So we've got the integral from negative infinity to c of f of x dx plus the integral from c to positive infinity of f of x dx for some value c. These are the key facts of 3.1 improper integrals. I'll be implementing these key facts within some examples and 2 exam style questions. Here are some examples. Find the values of the following improper integrals. Part A, the integral from 1 to infinity of 1 over x cubed dx. Part B, the integral from 0 to ln3 of e to the power x over square root e to the power x minus 1 dx. I'll begin by going through the solution to part A. So in part A, I want to work out the improper integral from 1 to infinity of 1 over x cubed, which is the same as x to the power minus 3 with respect to x. Now x to the power minus 3 is undefined at infinity, so I need to rewrite this as the limit as t tends to infinity of the integral from 1 to the infinity. We have to replace it with t. So I've got x to the power minus 3 inside the integral dx. So now I need to integrate x to the power minus 3. So x to the power minus 3, integrate it. Simply add 1 to the power and then divide by the new power. So if I do this, I get minus 1 over 2, x to the power minus 2. No problem. So I can go back here and I can write down equal limit as t tends to infinity, open square bracket. This one here integrates to minus 1 over 2, x to the power minus 2, close square bracket, lower limit 1, upper limit t, equal limit as t tends to infinity. So I begin by substituting x equal t. So if I do this, I get minus 1 over 2, t to the power minus 2. Take away, I need to now substitute x equal 1. So I get minus a half. No problem. So I can further simplify this. I get limit as t tends to infinity, open bracket. This term we can rewrite it as minus 1 over 2t squared. The two negatives will become a positive, and then we've got 1 over 2. Now as t tends to infinity, minus 1 over 2t squared will tend to 0. We're making the denominator large. So this overall fraction will tend to 0. And this 1 over 2 is independent of t, does not depend on t. So the limit will just be 1 over 2. So that there is the value of this improper integral. This completes part A of the example. Moving on to part B of the example. So in part B, I want to work out the improper integral from 0 to ln3 of e to the power x over square root e to the power x take away 1 dx. Look at the function inside the integral. If I substitute x equal ln3, I'll get a finite value. But if I substitute x equals 0, in the denominator I'll get square root e to the power 0 take away 1, which will give me square root 1 take away 1, which gives me square root 0, and which in turn gives me 0. I can't divide by 0. So the function is undefined at x equals 0. This is why we call this integral an improper integral. So we have to rewrite it as limit as t tends to. The function is undefined at x equals 0, so we want t tending to 0. Of the integral, replace the 0 with t. Keep the upper limit as it is, ln3. We have e to the power x over square root e to the power x take away 1 dx. So now I need to integrate this using an appropriate integration technique. So the integration technique that I can use here is the reverse chain rule. So I'll explain this now. Integral. Now e to the power x over square root e to the power x minus 1, I can rewrite it as e to the power x in bracket e to the power x minus 1 to the power minus a half dx. Let's call this f of x. So the f of x is e to the power x minus 1. The f dash of x will be e to the power x. So on the outside of the bracket, I've got an f dash of x. This is absolutely amazing. It follows one of the forms of the reverse chain rule. And that form is the integral of f dash of x multiplied by f of x in square bracket to the power n dx. So in this scenario, the f of x is e to the power x minus 1, the f dash of x is e to the power x, and the n is minus a half. Okay, no problem. Now, as part of the reverse chain rule, there are 3 steps. Step number 1, try y equal f of x in square bracket to the power n plus 1. Add 1 to the power. Step number 2, find dy over dx. And step number 3, add just the constant if necessary. So I'm going to follow those steps. So step number 1, in this scenario, I'm trying to integrate that. I will try y equal e to the power x minus 1 in bracket to the power minus a half plus 1, which is a half. So that's step number 1 done. Step number 2, I need to work out dy over dx. I can use the chain rule. Bring down the power, subtract 1 from the power, I get minus a half, multiplied by the differential of this. So that differentiates to e to the power x. So this is equal to 1 over 2 e to the power x multiplied by e to the power x minus 1 in bracket to the power minus a half. Okay, step number 3, I need to adjust the constant. Now if I go back to step number 2, I know my dy over dx is equal to this. If I was to integrate this, it would take me back to my y equation. So the integral of 1 over 2 e to the power x multiplied by e to the power x minus 1 to the power minus 1 over 2 dx will equal to that y equation there. So e to the power x minus 1 all raised to the power a half, and then I can put a plus c, the constant of integration. But I'm not trying to integrate this, I'm trying to integrate this one here. So I'm trying to integrate e to the power x multiplied by e to the power x minus 1 all raised to the power minus a half dx. So I'm trying to go from 1 over 2 to a 1. So going from 1 over 2 to a 1, I can simply multiply by 2. So if I know that this integrates to this, then this one over here will integrate to this multiplied by 2. So 2 lots of e to the power x minus 1 all raised to the power half plus a new constant, I can put down d. Fantastic. So if I come back here, I've got limit as t tends to 0, open square bracket, this one here integrates to 2 lots of e to the power x minus 1 in bracket to the power of half, close square bracket, lower limit t, upper limit ln 3. So now I need to substitute x equal ln 3. So limit as t tends to 0. So e to the power ln 3, the e and ln will cancel and I get 3. 3 take away 1 is 2, and 2 to the power of half is square root 2, and 2 multiplied by square root 2 is just 2 square root 2. So I've got 2 square root 2. Take away, now I substitute x equal t. So if I replace the x with t, I get 2 lots of e to the power t, take away 1, in bracket, all raised to the power of half, close bracket. So I want the limit as t tends to 0. I'm going to replace the t with 0. So if I do that, I get e to the power 0 is 1, 1 take away 1 is 0, 0 to the power half is 0, and 0 multiplied by minus 2 is just 0. So I'm left with 2 square root 2. So the value of this improper integral is 2 square root 2. And that there completes my examples. Here is an exam style question. Part A, find the integral of 1 over 7 minus 3x in bracket to the power 2 with respect to x. Let's have a look at the solution to part A. So integral, I can rewrite this fraction as 7 minus 3x in bracket to the power minus 2 dx. So I'm going to integrate this now, equal, I need to take out 1 over the coefficient of x, which is negative 3, multiplied by, I add 1 to the power, so minus 2 plus 1 is minus 1, and then I divide by this new power, minus 1, plus c, the constant of integration. So this simplifies to 1 over 3 multiplied by 7 minus 3x in bracket to the power minus 1 plus c. This in turn simplifies to 1 over 3 lots of 7 minus 3x plus c, the constant of integration. Moving on to part B. Hence, we have to refer back to our answer in part A. Show that the integral from negative infinity to 2 of this fraction with respect to x converges. So we have to show that this integral takes on a finite value. So we have to find its value. So now, in part B, I'm trying to work out the integral from minus infinity to 2 of 1 over 7 minus 3x in bracket to the power 2 with respect to x. This can be rewritten as 7 minus 3x in bracket to the power minus 2, and then we've got dx. Now, why is this called an improper integral? Because the lower limit is a negative infinity, which means that we have to rewrite it as limit as t tends to negative infinity of the integral, replace the negative infinity with t, keep the upper limit as it is. 7 minus 3x in bracket to the power minus 2 dx. Okay, equal limit as t tends to negative infinity, open square bracket. We know that this one here integrates to this here from part A. So we have 1 over 3 lots of 7 minus 3x. Close square bracket, lower limit t, upper limit 2. So now I can replace the x with 2. So limit as t tends to negative infinity. So if I replace the x with 2, I get 3 times 2, which is 6. 7 take away 6 is 1. And then 1 times 3 is 3, 1 over 3. Take away, I replace the x with t. So I've got 1 over 3 lots of 7 minus 3t. Cool. So as t tends to negative infinity over here, what we have is 1 over 3 lots of 7 minus the two negatives will become positive. 3 times infinity, so the denominator will become super large, which means that the overall fraction will tend to 0. So we are left with 1 over 3. Hence, we have shown that this integral here converges because it takes on a finite value and its value is 1 over 3. So this completes the first exam style question. Moving on to the second exam style question. Part A, explain why the integral from 0 to pi over 2 of tan x with respect to x is an improper integral. So let's have a look at the solution to part A. Right, so why is this integral improper? Basically, you see the function inside the integral, which is tan x. It is undefined at x equal pi over 2. That is the answer. So we can write down tan x is undefined at x equal pi over 2. Therefore, the integral from 0 to pi over 2 tan x with respect to x is called an improper integral. Moving on to part B. Show that the integral from 0 to pi over 2 of tan x dx is divergent. It does not take on a finite value. Let's go. So here is the solution to part B. So we have the integral from 0 to pi over 2 of tan x dx. It is an improper integral. Why? Because tan x is undefined at x equal pi over 2. So we have to rewrite it as limit t tends to pi over 2 of the integral from 0 to t tan x dx equal limit as t tends to pi over 2, open square bracket, tan x integrates to ln mod sec x, close square bracket, lower limit 0, upper limit t, equal limit as t tends to pi over 2. So we need to replace the x with t. So that will give me ln modulus sec t. Take away, replace the x with 0 now. ln modulus sec 0. close square bracket, equal limit as t tends to pi over 2. Let's have a look at the ln modulus sec 0. So ln modulus sec 0 is equal ln modulus sec 0 is 1 over cos 0. Now cos of 0 is just 1. So we have ln modulus 1 over 1, which is ln modulus 1, that is ln 1 equal to 0. So that becomes a 0. So I've got a limit as t tends to pi over 2 of ln modulus sec t. Right, this is quite interesting. So we can see over here that ln modulus sec t can be rewritten as ln modulus 1 over cos t. So as t tends to pi over 2, we have ln modulus 1 over cos t will tend to ln 1 over 0. So 1 over 0 will tend to infinity, so ln infinity will just become an infinite value. So this overall thing here tends to infinity. So we can conclude that this here will become infinite, and because it becomes infinite, the integral from 0 to pi over 2 of tan x dx is undefined. And since it is undefined, it does not take on a finite value, we can now conclude, therefore, the integral from 0 to pi over 2 of tan x dx is divergent. So that completes the second exam style question and this teaching video 3.1, improper integrals. If you found this teaching video useful, please don't forget to subscribe, leave a like, leave a comment, turn on your notification bell so that you receive a notification every time I post a new teaching video.